Hey, I hope everybody is doing well. I know I'm driving and talking. I don't do this. Don't do this. This is a horrible example. But I was just sitting here. I was listening to Brother Rich on his podcast, and it was some good stuff. Some good stuff. He was teaching about how to get through this difficult times. A lot of mental, emotional manipulation that's going on in the world right now on social media, just everywhere. The internet is all designed to control how we think, control what we consider. Is this my exit? Yes. It's all designed to control us, and so that's what's happening. But sometimes, even when you know that you're on the right path, it's still hard to look at everything that's going on in the world and to try and find positivity in that. And so one thing that I have been trying to instill in my mind, in my self-conscious, is I want to acknowledge that because of the traumas that I have had from my childhood and from my adulthood, I was I am a survivor of childhood sexual trauma, childhood mental emotional trauma, and it's taken me a very long time to heal from that. I'm still healing from it. I'll be healing from it for the rest of my life. But one thing that I find that I do not like is that I flip-flop from positive, negative. Like, I can bring myself to a positive thought and be fine, but I always tend to gravitate to what's negative that's happening. And trying to teach myself, no, not trying, but teaching myself that when I do that, I am placing myself where I am most comfortable. I'm most comfortable in struggle. I am most comfortable, in, the memory of the trauma and all this other stuff. And so I am actively breaking myself from that. And so, I don't know, I wanted to send out some encouragement because I know that I can't be the only one doing that. Like, everything could be going well, and I'm like, yay, it was a good day. But the economy, oh, look at what the administration is doing. Oh, it's going to hurt the Black community. Oh my God. And so as I'm actively healing myself, I'm also actively re-traumatizing myself, because I acknowledge that is where I'm most comfortable. That's where, I've spent most of my life. And so I'm in the process of breaking out of that mental lock that I allow myself to be on. And yeah. And I just wanted to share that because, you never know. You never know who you can help when you share, some things. And so, I tend to revert back to, the negativity is where I feel most comfortable. And so, when I am, not negativity, but just feeling sad and down, because I spend so much of my life that way, that when I don't feel that way, I feel like something's wrong, when actually there's absolutely nothing wrong. So one of the affirmations that I tell myself is, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that has helped me out a lot. Even when, you don't have the best day. Like yesterday was a pretty good day. And, I found myself kind of allowing myself to revert back to that sadness. And so I had to tell myself that I am exactly where I am supposed to be. I am not where I am not supposed to be. And that has been really helpful for me, because it helps me to see that, I'm trying to park. It helps me to rethink my steps, rethink my actions that I have taken. And it helps me to see that I am on the right path, and it brings me back to a positive place. And so that's one of the things that I do, that I've started doing for myself. I am desperately and actively changing how I think about things, and changing how I want because I love the sun to just beam on me, but I am actively changing how I allow myself to think throughout the day, and being more positive about it, being more intentional about what I think about myself and what I think about my situation. I'm in the process of learning astrology, and I learned that, like, my south node, I think it's north node, south node, my south node is in Taurus. And so practicing appreciation, active appreciation for where I am and what I'm doing, and no, things might not be perfect. It may not be what I consider perfect, but it's not like I'm not in a horrible place. I'm in a good place. And so just affirming myself every day and grounding myself, going out, it takes a lot. And so you have to get off your butt and do it. You just do. You just do. You have to get off the couch. You have to get out the bed. You have to get off the recliner. Go outside, plant your feet, and take a brace. And just allow the earth and the sun on your head with your feet on the earth, and allow that healing, and know that, as you take in the rays of the sun, you are taking in a level of healing that you may not see it, you may not know it, but when the time is right, you will recognize, like, oh, okay. So ass out of the seats, and feet on the ground, boots on the ground, feet on the ground, and just do it. It's hard when you're not used to, because when you are programmed to constantly think negatively, it's hard to reprogram yourself to think positively when those negative thoughts come about. And so it's just something like, you just have to do it. Just do it. And honestly, when you're ready, you will get it done, and so sometimes people have to feel ready, and sometimes people decide when they're ready, if that makes any sense. That's, and for some things, I felt like, okay, I think I'm ready to do this. Like when I gave up coffee, it was so hard to give up that coffee, but I had to make myself be ready. Like, okay, it's okay. I'm not going to find a place where it's just like, okay, I'm ready to get this done now. It was something that I just had to do. Whereas, if you want to, like something that you're ready, I think I'm ready to stop smoking. Like I've heard people say, I was smoking a cigarette and I just decided I don't want to do this anymore, and they just stopped. So there are times when you just know that you're ready, and then sometimes you have to make yourself be ready, because if you don't, your mind is never going to allow you to achieve that readiness. And so that's what it was with the coffee for me, where Spirit had been telling me for like 7 years, like, even like, I didn't even grow up drinking coffee. Like, I didn't start drinking coffee until I was in my 30s. Oh, maybe a little in my late 20s. How old was I? I think late 20s. And so I drank coffee, and the first time I drank it, I just remember hearing Spirit say, like, you're not going to drink this forever. Like, this is not a good look for you, you know? And so, yeah, it took me a long time. And then I kept hearing, give up the coffee, give up the coffee. And it took me about 7 years because I was addicted to Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I loved their coffee. I was never a Starbucks head. I was always a Dunkin' Donuts lady. But I loved their coffee. Um, and I just had to stop. I just had to stop. Um, and it was hard, but it's been like what, 2.5 years now since I've had coffee. Um, and I struggled. Now I do drink like the mushroom coffee, which is better for you, is less acidic, for my body, which I think, coffee has a lot of, like, it's not even pure. Like a lot of these foods and stuff these days is just not pure. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I just wanted to use that as an example because um, some things you have to make yourself be ready for. And so when it comes to speaking negatively to yourself about yourself, you have to make yourself